After watching this video, I promise that you will overcome your current situations that you consider blocks when manifesting your specific person. Whatever circumstances you are facing right now are going to vanish, and you will be able to get what you want. So, have you ever, for a moment, just sat quietly and observed your circumstances as well as your desires? For a moment, have you just tried to witness your desires from a third-person perspective? Well, if you haven't yet, then I would like you to try it. Once I did it, I got many answers that I was unaware of. Now, what were those answers? While observing, I realized something. I realized that the circumstances that I thought were huge were overcome by someone at some point in time. Like, literally, there are success stories where someone overcame these circumstances. These circumstances ceased to exist after someone decided to change them. Also, these people shared the methods they used to overcome them. They shared their journey that eventually led them to succeed in their reality. For instance, if you think that you have been blocked by a person that you like, then just look around yourself. There are people who faced the same circumstances, and now they have overcome them. Now they have become someone that their person is obsessed with. If you love someone and they don't want you, then there are people who are in such situations and have overcome them. Is that not the case? There are people who overcame their circumstances and are now living the life they have dreamed of. When you look around yourself, you either see people who have success stories or people who have excuses. People with success stories tell you that the situations you are facing are not permanent, and you can overcome them. But the people who are living with the excuses will tell you why something is not possible, and why you won't be able to have what you desire. It is important for you to surround yourself with the ideas and mindset of people with success stories. Right now, you are in the state of a person with excuses, where you are telling yourself the reasons due to which you are not going to get that thing or that person. You may tell yourself that you are not good looking, you don't have enough money, you are not smart, and you don't have 6 packs, and that is why you won't get it. Well, all of these are excuses. I have seen people with round bellies who are very average looking, with no smartness at all, dating beautiful women. Just realize that all the excuses that you live with are your assumptions. You form assumptions, and you live with them. Your reality molds itself based on the assumptions that you hold. As Neville Goddard mentions, assumptions become facts in your reality. So, your assumptions are a very important aspect of your life. If right now your assumptions are against your desired reality, then it is time to change them. I personally believe that in order to change these assumptions, every day, you have to sit in a silent place and move your attention inwardly. For the next few minutes, you have to shut down your physical senses, and you do this by moving your attention away from your physical reality. This activity has to be followed with utmost discipline. So, move inward and form an image where you already have what you want. Is it a specific person that you wish to be with? If that's the case, hold them in your arms and feel their body. Feel their arms, feel the texture of the clothes they are wearing, touch their skin, and feel them breathing. Listen to their voice if you want them to tell you something. Just feel the warmth. Sit with this idea for a few minutes. You don't have to make it complicated. You don't have to do a backflip. Just hug them and start feeling internally how that hug would feel, how their body would feel. You have to experience this feeling and visit it every day. When you do it daily, you will start making this feeling familiar to you. You would start making it natural to you. On day 1, you might not be able to focus your attention on this feeling. You might get distracted. But day by day, as you get disciplined, you start getting that feeling. You would start living with this feeling. The best way to check if you have made any progress is by observing your mental activity. Each one of us gets involved in mental conversations with the people in our reality. We mentally talk to them. We speak to them in our minds. You too do this. You don't observe this. You complain to people in your mind. You try to get even with them by fighting with them in your mind. Of course, you do this. Now, why am I talking about this? Well, the reason is simple. I am talking about this because once you start imagining them hugging you, once you make that progress in your internal world, this mental conversation with them will change. You would change the way you talk to this person mentally, and it would match that imaginary scene. Now, what does it mean? This simply means that you have changed your assumptions and the way you perceive that person. You have done what needs to be done, and within no time, you will experience your imaginary scene in reality. Also, the excuses that you were holding are fading away, and you have changed them. Now you would look at your specific person differently. You would start having different thoughts about them. Their hugging you tightly simply means that they love you. You will no longer complain and fight with them in your mind. You would form different assumptions about them. All of this will result in a change in your internal world. As your internal world changes, your external world will reflect that change. Your external world, acting as a huge mirror, will show you your imaginative activity. You would get goosebumps, and you would know that you had done it. You would know that you made it possible. Now that you know how the law works, you have unlocked the key to achieving anything that you desire in this physical world. There are no blocks, only there are excuses. Excuses are your assumptions. They are keeping you in a certain way. If you assume that you are not good enough, reality will present you with experiences where you will get evidence of your assumptions. So, it is up to you. You have the power to make your own assumptions. When you change, everything changes. The majority of people are just consuming content, watching videos, hearing success stories, and reading forums. But when it comes to applying the knowledge, when it comes to changing your current assumptions, they don't do it. They just receive a little dopamine spike after consuming content. But they don't truly live from the end. Living from the end, or thinking from the end, is the master key that unlocks the door to manifestation. Last night, I went to bed early and I woke up around 4. So, I thought to start my day by reading something. I got the idea of reading Neville Goddard's lecture. I came across a lecture that I had read before, but I thought about reading it again. I heard that every time we read something again, we become aware of something new. I already know about the law, and I have had some experiences with it. Still, while reading this one line, it caught my attention and made me realize how simple and easy the law is. It said, inner talking from premises of fulfilled desire is the way to consciously create circumstances. I like how simple and easy it can be. You have a desire, you want something. Now you have to think as if you have it. Let's say it is a piece of jewelry that I want. Now, what would the inner talk look like in this case? Well, I would hear my friend telling me how royal this piece of jewelry looks on me. I would like to thank my friend for such a generous compliment. There is no rocket science here. It's so simple, nothing complicated. You only make it complicated by giving excuses for why you cannot have something. You only make it complicated by not living from the end. Living from the end is not some sort of technique that you perform and then wait for something to appear. It is not some method where you do something once and then look for evidence. Living from the end means completely detaching from your present limitations and living from the new possibilities. It is not about falling back to the place where you started. You go to the end and accept that end as your reality. When you accept the state where your wish has been fulfilled, it simultaneously appears in your reality. If you don't accept that state, then only you will complain. It is because you have been oscillating from your old state to your new state. You have still not chosen the new state. That is why I advise you to fully immerse yourself in the new state of being. Accept the new state as your reality, and start thinking from that premise. Our inner conversations are perpetually outpictured all around us. Therefore, what we desire to see and hear without, we must see and hear within, for the whole manifested world goes to show us what use we have made of the word. So, if you don't like the current circumstances, then go within, change your inner conversations, and listen internally to what you want to listen to in the outer world. See internally what you want to see in the outer world. Our internal world is a manifesting machine, yet we neglect it. We don't command it. We don't become conscious of the activity that has been going on inside. This internal activity is the cause of our external world. How many times have you sat alone in silence and observed the mental chatter that has been going on in your mind? Now, I am not telling you to stop it. Just change the path of this mental chatter. Just change the direction of this internal voice. Match it to your ideal state. Also, in almost every video of mine, I advise you to work on the concepts you hold about yourself. Some people still don't understand how important it is for you to have higher concepts about yourself. They think it is a huge task, but in reality, it isn't. Start small. Start by listening to affirmation tapes. I have designed one such affirmation tape that will help you change the concept you hold about yourself. You can find it by clicking on the first video that appears at the end of the screen.